welcome to everyone to the Ukulinga Howard Davis Memorial Symposium. On behalf of the URP uMngeni Resilience Project, we are happy to be partnering with everyone. The uMngeni Resilience Project is a partnership between the uMgungundlovu District Municipality, South African National Biodiversity Institute, National Department of Environmental Affairs, and the University of KwaZulu-Natal. The aim of the partnership is to build resilience within small-scale farming communities within the uMgungundlovu District Municipality.
Food is one of the basic human needs. However, 32% of global food losses are experienced today after harvest. 37% of this post-harvest loss is from sub-Saharan Africa. In Africa, in general, about 1.3 billion of tons of foods are lost per year. Therefore, it is very important to look into what challenges are really causing these serious problems.
The project has 4 target components. The first one, which is around climate information and services, where we are seeking to build or develop 3 early warning systems with regards to fire, storms and weather, increasing access to weather information. The second component relates to climate proofing settlements, which involves clearing alien invasive species, rehabilitating grasslands, as well as building climate-proof settlements, where we target to build at least 300 houses and about 2 or so bridges within the district municipality. The third component, which excites us all, is the climate-resilient agriculture component, where we've been doing a lot of work with some of the communities from Swaimani, Klazuka, Vulindlela, with spill-offs to other communities beyond the districts such as Tugela Ferry, Umbumbulu and Kokstad, where we are taking some of the lessons from the project. The fourth component relates to building and sharing capacity and lessons, where we conduct workshops with learners, municipal officials, and we're also seeking to develop policy notes and briefs to streamline or mainstream the outputs of the project into national and municipal development initiatives.
Moist tube irrigation is based on the concept of a semi-permeable membrane. Typical drip irrigation comprises tubing with a little hole, and the water drips out of the hole under pressure. Whereas with moist tube irrigation, the water oozes out of the tubing. And what has happened is that we are actually now on what is called third generation. The initial one was single, then you got a thick double, and finally this one is 2 layers. It has got an inner membrane covered by an outer sheath. So the semi-membrane operates on a concept of a nanopore. The comparative discharge, if you look at ordinary drip, the nominal discharge for ordinary drip is like 2 liters per hour, although the range goes from 2 to 10 liters per hour, but standard is 2 liters per hour. Whereas this one is around 0.3 liters per hour per meter length. And the operational principle of moist tube is based on when this moist tube is embedded in the soil, and if there is a negative pressure in the soil, because the soil is dry, what then happens is that it then exerts a pooling effect on the water that is in the moist tube, and then you get your soil being wetted in that way.
And one of the things our research has taught us is that resilience is actually a human characteristic. And what we have learned is that you can have all the resources that you want, but if the human being himself is not able to engage those resources in any way that maintains his sustainability or resilience, then you don't have resilience. So we've looked at resilience on three levels and in 5 different aspects. We have resilience is based on the ability of a household to manage its food security, which is sort of the primary function. We also look at the ability of a household to manage the environment in which that food security is operating, so to be both an environmental and a social context. And most importantly, we look at the ability of the households to engage with learning so it can adapt to changes either in the environment or in the primary food security system.
With regards to building resilience, there are two broad ways in which we try to address that. There's one which is a more technological approach, where we either make farmers access seeds that can withstand the environment that we are facing these days, for them to be aware of that difference in seed characteristics and variety characteristics that are useful for different circumstances that are going to unveil even more with climate change. That also, similarly, we talk about animals, livestock. We're working a little bit more to including goats. So you find youth and so on who want to go into livestock, would push them into goats because we think they are more amenable to the climatic conditions that will prevail. And so we make the farmers more resilient.
What we look for are 5 things. One is the systems that need to be in place and the structures that need to be in place and the knowledge and skills. But oddly, most importantly, is the opportunity to use the knowledge and skills to run and govern those systems and structures. And that households cannot do on their own. That is why households need partners. They need partners in agriculture, such as the Agriculture Extension Services, to assist them to make wise choices about what to produce, what not to produce, what to rather grow to sell, so that they can purchase their food, or what to grow to eat so that they don't have to purchase their food. So they need a partnership with the extension services, whether it's a government or NGO or private sector. They also need partnerships with suppliers, input suppliers of their seed, fertilizer, and other requirements for producing their crops or raising their livestock. They need partnerships with people who control land, who control access to markets and water. So a household, a farming household, or even an urban household are going to need partnerships to be able to ensure that their own household food security is achieved.
The most important technology we have today worldwide, the mechanical refrigeration system, is expensive and it requires high energy to operate. At the University of KwaZulu-Natal, we developed a few low-cost, low-energy evaporative cooling technologies that are proven to be effective in reducing post-harvest losses of the most delicate food plant materials, fruits and vegetables.
One, it requires very little amount of water, and 2, it's adaptable to all sorts of crops. So in terms of improving the resilience of people, especially those who are resource poor, they could use this moist tube to irrigate a whole range of crops that could be providing them with the starches or with the proteins, using very limited amount of water and limited amount of space, and gradually get them to be a bit more resistant to the vagaries of the weather, whether it is lack of land or lack of water.
With regards to this year's theme, which is around building partnerships for resilience, the uMngeni Resilience Project itself is about partnerships. It's about unusual partnerships where the municipality is working with the university and where the university is working outside of its traditional domain, which is conducting research, and we are doing implementation, which allows us a unique opportunity to take the knowledge that we generate and put it into application in the real world. It also involves partnerships beyond just the university and the municipality. We have public-private partnerships with the KZN Fire Protection Agency. We are partnering with national institutions such as the South African Weather Services and uMngeni Water to deliver on an early warning system for floods in the district. And beyond that, we have partnered with many other stakeholders nationally and internationally within the realm of building resilience. And the important message that has emanated from all of these partnerships is because the kind of problems that climate change brings are very unique, very cross-cutting, complex. They touch a lot of different spheres. So one entity cannot do it alone. So you need to work with other people. You need to collaborate and go beyond the normal realms of what you'd ordinarily do. So building partnerships becomes key to delivering on resilience.